Shalom. Kahala Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, even the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations, all the brothers out pushing the word and truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect, Tabernacle of David. To the Aquat that are listening, learning, being a pillar of rest, the 144,000 1/3, the hopeful elect of Israel. I'm the brother Yahshua. Shalom and salutations to you all. Just wanted to go over real quick what's going on with the devil and what's going on in World War III. Okay, at the head of World War III, if you will. So we're going to look at this little video by the open-minded thinker, and just wanted to preface it by tracking down the devil. See, because the devil has been exposed, right? And that was his one of his greatest tricks, right? Was to convince you that he doesn't exist. But let's track him down. So this is Genesis 4 and 13. And here he is, Cain. That's the devil. Okay, so Genesis 4 and 13. And Cain said unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Then Cain says, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And here's the important part. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me, see, anybody that finds me shall slay me. Okay? So he's hiding. And if anybody finds him, they'll kill him, is what he said. Hey, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Right? Well, what was it? What was his punishment? Well, he put that mark on you. he sent you out. Here's the punishment. What hast thou done? Let's see. When thou tillest the ground, right? It shall not, here's the curse. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. Get out of here. Right? And he said, anybody that finds me shall slay me. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So the Most High hid him. How? Well, first he put that mark on him, and then what did he do? He put a hedge around him. Therefore, whoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. You can't touch him. He's perfectly protected. 7 means complete. He's completely protected. There's a complete hedge around Esau, so you can't kill him yet unless you find him. Right? You see that? Well, guess what? We found him. He's been found. Let's go here. Or reveal him. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. And then shall that wicked be what? Revealed. Okay? He's been revealed. He's been uncovered, as in the covering that was cast. Not covering cast, but covering that was cast over. Right? Because the covering was cast over him too. Covering, cast. Over. See, when you get this word over, it goes to what? It goes to what is being cast. The covering is being cast. What does cast mean? It means thrown, tossed. The covering that is cast or tossed over all people. That's how you read that. Enfolds, over the top. A shroud that enfolds or that covers, that goes over. cast over all people. Covering what? A cloak, a blanket, cast, thrown over. Okay, that word cast. Authorized over. Let's see. Cover. Tied. That he over all nations? That doesn't make sense. Spread over. Cast over. Veil. Covering. So when you say cover and cast, those two words don't go together. They convey two different thoughts. Covering is a blanket, for example, and cast means to throw. Okay. So anyway, but he was hidden. The covering that was cast over all people is to hide who they are, like a Negro. Negro is a Israelite from the tribe of Judah. So the Israelite from the tribe of Judah part has been, a covering has been cast over it or thrown, or it's being hidden. And who the devil is has been hidden, right? Oh, devil doesn't really exist. That's just it's not a guy in a red suit. That's just a old wives' tale. It doesn't really exist. Well, guess what? This says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread. Covering is a veil that is spread over all nations, meaning who you really are. Okay. Oh, the Edomites are the devil. The Edomites are the wicked. All right. So he has been discovered. Now that we know who the devil is, we ferret out his characteristics. Right. Now we got to go to St. John 8:44. Now we can find out. See, this way you can't, once we found the devil, all we do is go to his attributes. And then he can't lie to us anymore. Because why? What time are we in right now? 8:44. These are the devil's attributes. Ye are of your father who? The devil. Okay? Talk about Cain right here. And the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth. And so this guy is a murderous, psychopathic liar. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay, so, right? A murderous liar. Okay, these are his attributes. Okay, now we can watch this, right? Because we know who this is. These people lying about who they are. There's the devil right there. Okay? Now, this devil that made you think that he's all powerful and all invincible and nobody can take him down, right? Well, here's what really happened in that Israel's attack on Iran. This Iranian professor is going to laugh and mock, right, what's actually going on over there, because now the jig is up, right? We got to go here real quick. Got to establish what Yahushua said, because this is the time we're in, right? Matthew 24. Right? All of this stuff goes together. What comes before this? And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. What are we about to look at? This is war and rumors of war. Israel's striking. We're laughing. Here's what really happened. So wars and rumors of war, right? But what comes before that? Yahushua answered, Matthew 24:4. Here's the most important thing about the time that we're in right now. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man what? There's the devil right there in the detail. Devil. What does the word devil mean? Deceiver. Well, there it is. Take heed that no man, where's the devil? Right there. Deceive you. Where are we at? Wars and rumors. Hey, I'm winning. Nobody could take me down. I'm going to blow up your whole infrastructure. I'm going to blow up your nuclear sites. I'm going to blow up all your oil. I'm going to set you back into the Stone Age. That's called wars and rumors of war. Right? For many shall come in my name, Yasharallah, Yahushua HaMashiach. I am anointed. I am the Jews. I am Benjamin Yahweh. Right? For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive me. Who's over there doing that, right? We are the Jews. Nigga, where's the rest of? Where's the rest of the tribes? Oh, I'm Levi. Right? They're over there deceiving many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Are we hearing rumors of war? Absolutely. Are we hearing threats? I'm going to blow up your nuclear program. Right? No, you're over there conducting a genocide and lying about it. So we got rumors, we got threats, we got all of this, reports and news of battles for our we. We got all of that. But who's telling the truth? Well, it damn sure ain't the devil. Got to get one more before we, okay? So we're here. Now, who's telling these lies? Go back to Genesis. Got to set it up before we watch this information here. Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent, there he is, was more crafty than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made. Crafty, let's see, what else? He was more crafty than any of the wild animals. He was shrewd, crafty, subtle, cunning. Skilled, skilled in deceit, right? Now the serpent was more crafty and skilled in deceit than any living creature of the field. So this so-called white man is skilled in deceit. Now we go back to Matthew. Let no man what? Let no man what? Deceive you. Skilled in this dude is skilled. Take heed that this devil can't lie to you and you believe that somehow he's over whooping ass in the Middle East when he's completely surrounded. All right? So now we can watch this. 2 hours ago, Open-Minded Thinker Show. Iranian professor goes viral after mocking Israel's attack on Iran. Now listen, when this witch with completely blacked out eyes, demon serpent, asked this guy the first question, she's going to introduce him as an Iran-backed professor. And he's going to call her out on it. He can call the devil out on her deceptiveness. Immediately, watch.
The recent reports surrounding Israel's alleged strike on Iranian military targets have generated a whirlwind of speculation and analysis, yet there is still no clear confirmation of any significant damage. Over 24 hours after the event, it seems that many Iranians have concluded the strike was largely ineffective. This belief has even sparked rumors of potential retaliation from Iran, leading many to view the attack as underwhelming. Western media analysts, in what some perceive as damage control, have floated the idea that Israel may have deliberately scaled down the operation.
They were scared. Okay, let me preface this by saying, you don't conduct a genocide on women and children who are defenseless and don't have the firepower needed to defend themselves in what is clearly a genocide. And then when it's time to dominate and overpower somebody who you claim dominance over. What the hell response was that? No, you're scared of what happened when them 300 missiles came at your ass with no warheads on them. If they had warheads, it'd be over. So you're scared now. Okay? And we're looking at extreme cowardice of these people killing women and children that are defenseless, mercilessly, right? But turn around, somebody got a couple of weapons. You ain't ready to fight back. What happened? Where's that energy? Okay, where'd that energy go? Where's that genocidal energy? Right? You crazy, right? You ain't that damn crazy.
Argue that this was a symbolic warning of what might come in the future if tensions continue to escalate. Some media outlets attempted to underscore the supposed effectiveness of the strike by pointing to satellite images, but these lacked the clarity needed to definitively demonstrate significant damage to Iranian military infrastructure. When compared to the Iranian strike on October 1st, which left one of Israel's most fortified air bases defenseless and damaged multiple aircraft, Israel's recent efforts seem much less impactful. This contrast has not gone unnoticed, particularly among Iranian officials and analysts. Mohammad Marandi, a well-known Iranian academic who has often appeared on international news outlets, including Sky News and Al Jazeera, was particularly dismissive of Israel's efforts. Marandi, who has personal experience as a soldier during the Iran-Iraq War, mocked what he saw as Israel's attempts to downplay the apparent failure. He argued that the strike had been thwarted by Iran's robust air defense systems, which he claims tricked the Israeli military into targeting decoy installations rather than the real defense infrastructure. According to Marandi, this use of deception by Iranian engineers prevented what could have been one of the most devastating strikes on Iran in decades. Marandi went further, suggesting that this was not only a tactical victory for Iran, but also an important test for its domestically produced missile defense systems and radar platforms.
Okay, we'll stop real quick. Yeah. Yep. This is classic on both sides, right? What he just explained was Iran's take on the strike and how they shot down all the missiles and that their defense mechanisms worked perfectly and all. What is that called? That's propaganda. That's war and rumors of war on the other side. Okay? So who's telling the truth and who's lying? Okay? Well, we kind of parsed that out, didn't we? Right? Who's the liar and the father of it? It didn't say that about the Persians. Okay? I would be more inclined to think that the Persians are telling the truth than the Amalekites, right? Who we have identified clearly as the devil, or Genesis 3. Now the serpent was more crafty. He was more skilled in deception, skilled in deceit. This is Netanyahu, right? Not the Ayatollah. Who's the serpent? Netanyahu. Okay? So who's lying? All right, I'm gonna let this guy's gonna come on and he's going to let's see, where's it at? Right here. Let's just jump up here. Now listen to how she introduces him, and he's immediately gonna correct her because she's gonna come in with that venom, right? She's gonna come in with the venom, he's gonna correct, and he's gonna be laughing. I will mock when your fear cometh. Take it away. Oh, sluck it. Let's get past this. Here we go. Listen to the first, how she introduces him.
With your friends and family. Subscribe to stay informed on the latest developments in Iran, Lebanon, and Gaza.
So Israel has conducted what it describes as precise strikes on military targets in Iran. What's your reaction to those strikes?
I don't know if you introduce all of your academics as pro-UK or pro-US or pro-Israeli academic when you introduce me as pro-Iranian, but I'll leave that aside.
So he called the devil out immediately. See how you're trying to skew this interview? Well, you put some stank on my name early.
Reach more people by liking and sharing it with your friends and family. Subscribe to stay informed on the latest developments in Iran, Lebanon, and Gaza.
So Israel has conducted what it describes as precise strikes on military targets in Iran. What's your reaction to those strikes?
I don't know if you introduce all of your academics as pro-UK or pro-US or pro-Israeli academic when you introduce me as pro-Iranian, but I'll leave that aside.
I'll leave that aside after I just exposed you as a slick talking, subtle, deceptive devil, right? You done set me up. Now he's going to proceed to destroy her, and the whole notion that somehow Israel can overwhelm the whole region is ridiculous.
I think it's quite clear that the Israeli regime is afraid, and that is why it carried out, or incapable, and that is why it carried out such a insignificant strike. Iran will, of course, retaliate, and the Israeli regime will be punished because the Iranians have pointed out before that every escalation carried out by the regime and every act of aggression carried out by the regime will have to be responded to in order to create deterrence. And one sign of the regime's weakness is something that your reporter refused to say, and that is that the regime is not doing well on the border with Lebanon. And that is why the regime is now changing its objectives in Lebanon. They were supposed to take a significant chunk of southern Lebanon and make that an area where Hezbollah cannot operate anymore.
Yeah, in 2006, Hezbollah ran them niggas out on a rail. And now they're doing it again in lieu of all the firepower and all the logistics and spy satellites and the U.S. Babylon the Great helping them out. So that's what's going on in Lebanon. So don't fall for the okie doke. Okay, who's lying? This is war and rumors of war at its best, but that limited or whatever strike they called that is indicative of what's actually going on over there. Like first words this brother said was, well, they were scared. That's what he said. They were scared, and they bitched up.
But they're stuck at the border. They've given heavy casualties, especially during the last few days. And so it looks obvious that the regime is weak and vulnerable.
He's going to say, yeah, they didn't achieve their objective in Gaza. They didn't destroy Hamas from top to bottom. They're still down there fighting after a year. And in Hezbollah, they haven't destroyed Hezbollah. Hezbollah's whooping that ass like they did in 2006. So how about that? What about the truth? Not, well, we have the media on our side so we could just lie and deceive and make people believe that we're winning when we're clearly not.
You call this an insignificant strike by Israel. The targets, we're told, were military ones, not oil or nuclear facilities, for example. Given that, what level of response do you anticipate from Iran?
The Iranian response will be significant. It will do more damage to the Israeli regime than the damage that the Israeli regime did to Iran. Significantly more damage. And I think in the past, Iran showed that. The Israeli regime is an aggressive regime. It is a brutal and barbaric regime that carries out genocide. So it has to be contained.
Going back to who the devil is. This murderous, psychopathic maniac who lies about what it, oh no, this is not a genocide. He's breaking it down. He's telling the truth about that regime. Can the Israelis tell the truth at any corner? No, they can't. Every word out of his mouth is a lie.
Will be significant. It will do more damage to the Israeli regime than the damage that the Israeli regime did to Iran. Significantly more damage. And I think in the past, Iran showed that. The Israeli regime is an aggressive regime. It is a brutal and barbaric regime that carries out genocide. So it has to be contained. A regime that slaughters women and children day and night is not a regime that you can reason with. So you have to slap it down. And that's what Iran will do. And we saw last night how insignificant the strike was, because the regime knows that Iran's response could be in thousands upon thousands of missiles raining down on the regime at a time when the regime is losing the battle against Hezbollah, which is an ally of Iran, not a proxy, as your reporter likes to call it, is hammering the regime. And in Gaza, after over a year of Holocaust and genocide, the Israeli regime has failed to take that dot on the map. This is the same regime that decades ago took the whole Sinai, went all the way to the Suez Canal. And in 1982, it went all the way and captured Beirut. Now it's stuck on the border in the north. It can't take a dot on the south, called the Gaza Strip. And it knows quite well what Iran can do to it.
The IDF says that these strikes are in response to months of continuous attacks from Iran, and after the
Look at that smug look on that brother's face right now. And this alien right here, looking like a gray alien. She's just a robot doing her job. She's just terrible. Look at that.
of missiles that were sent by Iran to Israel on October the 1st. You say you anticipate a significant response now from Iran. So where does this end?
Well, again, I think that very statement or those claims made by the regime show how dishonest it is. Just like its history in Palestine, where they displaced the population and think that history began last year ago, when they massacred the population for decades, and they say history began on October the 7th. The Israelis actually carried out their first attack with the Americans with a cyber attack against Iran's nuclear program, the first cyber attack in the world. And then they assassinated scientists. I'm sure you remember that. One of those scientists was a colleague of mine at my university who was murdered in front of his wife. And then the Israeli regime, they murdered a number of Iranians who were fighting against ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Syria, because the Israeli regime was supporting ISIS and Al-Qaeda. And of course, there were also, if you recall, other assassinations and drone attacks inside Iran. But when did this current exchange begin? It began when they bombed the Iranian embassy in Damascus, killing people, killing Iranians. Iran responded. Then they went and murdered Ismail Haniyeh. He was martyred he was a guest of the president-elect for his inauguration. And he was martyred in a guest house, an official guest house. So Iran responded again. So these are not Iranian escalations. And these are merely Iranian responses to Israeli regime aggression. After what happened at the embassy, Iran said enough is enough. It is no longer going to show strategic patience. From now on, Iran has to punish the regime so that it does not attack again. And so it's up to the Israeli regime. They're going to have to take their punishment, and they're going to have to be heard. But Iran is prepared to do this again and again, because Iran easily outguns the regime. Iran can go on wave after wave, as I said, with many thousands of missile strikes and many thousands of drone strikes within days. So it's up to the regime. Do they want to devastate everything and destroy everything? We'll see.
Give us an idea of what people in Tehran are waking up to this morning. What's being reported there about what's happened? What's being said about the extent of the damage, for example?
Well, some people like myself were woken up by the media RT and Al Jazeera called me, so I got up. I didn't hear anything. My family, most of them didn't know that anything happened. In my part of Tehran, I couldn't hear those explosions that people were talking about.
He's going to go on to explain how big Iran actually is. It's a huge country, not a tiny little blip on the map like Israel, right? Where if you shoot 1,000 missiles, you're gonna damn near hit every target that contained in Israel. Okay, but that can't be said about Iran. People got a geography on its own. Okay, will knock some sense. He can go on to explain, how do you attack Iran? It's so huge, right? And rocks, just nothing but mountains and mountain ranges.
Then later on, others began to say that these were mostly anti-aircraft or missiles or anti-aircraft guns. I don't know, but I don't know of any damage in the city. No one has shown any damage. Most people did not wake up. My relatives and friends, they woke up in the morning and heard the news as they were going to work. So at the moment, there isn't anything for us to see. They may have hit some places in bases in two, three parts of the country. So obviously, we wouldn't have access to those bases. But it doesn't seem to be it doesn't seem to be important at all. And we have to remember that Iran is a huge country. Palestine is very small. So when Iran fires 200 missiles, the whole regime shakes. Next time round, the Iranians could ramp that up to 1,000 missiles at one go. So I think it would be smart for the regime to back down, just as they're rethinking their catastrophic attack on Palestine, on Lebanon, on the Palestinian-Lebanese border.
At this point, it's unclear what Israel's true intentions were with the strike.
They're confounded and confused is what it is. Because the only thing that can happen is they can keep going back and forth with these missile strikes. And then eventually what would happen, because Israel would be so overwhelmed by 1,000 at a time, Israel would have to go nuclear. Once Israel went nuclear on Iran, who's coming in? Anyone from Turkey, Pakistan, China, North Korea, Russia, all right? Any one of those, okay? So basically we got an idea of what's going on. What's taken so long? Well, he says it best right here. He comes out and says, well, they're scared. Let's see if we can find it.
Israeli academic, when you introduced me as pro-Iranian, but I'll leave that aside. I think it's quite clear that the Israeli regime is afraid.
Here it is. Yeah, they are. When you understand what's going on, it's a suicide mission going up against Iran like that, like you're trying to commit that genocide down there. Okay, so let's go here. Go ahead and end it, if it'll let me. 15. So are we looking at this right here? Let's start at 28. 2nd Ezra 15 and 28. Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So the nations of the Arab nations are where? What they call the Middle East or West Asia, right? Now, 30. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. Now, are we looking at this? The next strike that Iran, right, the Persians, Is this what we're looking at? And with great power shall they come and join battle with them and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Is that what we're looking at right now? Okay. Is this what we're looking at? Because this next strike can change the tide of things. What's going on? And then shall the dragons have the upper hand? What's going on in Lebanon? He just said, this guy just said, Lebanon is down there whooping ass, right? So if things are going according to this, the Persians, when they launch that strike by joining battle with them, then Hezbollah and Lebanon are about to start whooping ass. They're about to get the upper hand, right? So this could very well be where we are at this moment. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close it right there. I just thought that was interesting to find out what's really going on and what's taking so long and this tit for tat thing. What's going on? Well, he basically broke it down. Look at this. 4141444. This is it. Listen to what he says right here.
The academic, when you introduced me as pro-Iranian, but I'll leave that aside. I think it's quite clear that the Israeli regime is afraid, and that is why it carried out, or incapable, and that is why it carried out such a insignificant strike.
With that, we hope that the electorate edified you, brothers and sisters. We'll keep our eye on this because this is the head of World War III. Okay, this is the most significant theater, if you will. Why? It's in the Valley of Yehoshaphat, where all things are heading. Okay, so we'll keep our eye on this and continue to, parse it out, if you will. Now I'm about to do a World War III daily update, which should have nothing to do with the material we just covered, but we'll see. Shalom.